Hello once again, everybody. It's Friday, and that means it's time once more for Mars First Logistics. Last time we left off with us building a tower at the top of a mountain, which seems interesting. We got several phases of the tower complete with lots of rather unique missions required for it. A lot of manipulating objects that exist in the world, completing steps of the construction, stuff like that. And where we left off is we need to turn a bolt on a screw against gravity. And there seems to be two standard Mars hook size holes in the sides of the bolt, which may help us. But it seems like that might actually be a pretty big ask to make something that will allow us to A, grab on, B, rotate around the pillar, and C, never let go so the gravity doesn't take the bolt back downward. But nonetheless, that mission awaits us, along with all the procedural gen missions that we've accepted thus far. So we might start with those, and then see if, while ruminating, we can work out a good method for dealing with the bolt. In any case, though, let's get into it. Should get feed in a second. There we go. Good. Slippery snow. Good evening, Kippers. Critter time. Yeah. That's true. Critter season. Yeah, that went about as well as I expected it to. But that shows you the idea. We need to rotate that thing in a way where our entire vehicle can orbit the structure. Or create a tiny vehicle that would be better suited for it, or something else entirely. And because it's a world object, the grappling hook wire does not cheat and pass through the center. So if we were to try and grapple hook it, we do run the risk of tangling the grappling hook, or need to constantly shoot it and reset it, while being at the risk of losing everything because of it falling back down due to gravity. Contract to deliver and gets us bubbles. This is a monorail. With our new grabber and our new stabilizing engines, we might just be able to pick this thing up and, if I run into any sort of issues, fly over them, you know? Fully sealed. Give it a twist for stability. Something like that might do. See if we can hit a few nodes on the way. Trailer music. Oh yeah. Goodness gracious, having those side thrusters making us not rotate everywhere when we fly is a godsend, really. Such useful anti-spin. We've got a planet hopper. Played through a visual novel, huh? What was it called? Ah. Return to Ash. Might check it out. In retrospect, this is a terrible place to be. Nom Nom Nami helped make it. Not sure I'm familiar. At the very least, not off of that name. $300 meters till I get to a refueling spot. I might need to just Spider-Man this. Oh! The Bad in Theater writer. Okay. Then yes, I am very interested. Oh, that would have been really bad. I opened the claw slightly. Alright, real talk for the real ones that are in chat here, watching random episodes. Bad in Theater, absolutely on the list. Don't know when, don't know how, but eventually. I've been finding that story time with Moo seems to be a rather popular. So extending that to visual novels past just interactive fiction. Might work well. Once again, I accidentally did that. Cool. Nice. Alright. Time for another VTOL planet hop, and this should get us to our destination. And we will unlock the bubbler. Neum. Don't worry, y'all. I'm a professional, here to deliver your object in mint condition. There we go. Bubbles. I imagine this is going to be one of those low functionality items that is nonetheless incredibly charming. Oh. Okay, verified. Incredibly charming. Oh, I love it. They're so cute. They look like opaque little purple spheres, or I want to protect them. If you've heard me use the term blobbert before, those are Moo blobberts. Moo-colored blobberts. They are so cute. Oh, I wonder if this will work. Okay. So that's what purple looks like, but what about transparent purple? Will that make clear bubbles? Ah, nah. Darn. Oh. Mistletoe trail. I'm sorry, I am just overwhelmed by how cute this item is. I just have the biggest grin. A what? Levitating actuator. Goodness gracious, is that gonna be a long delivery though? Safely deliver explosives a short distance. 1 single kilometer. Assuming I can grab the thing, I should be able to do that fine. Do better than that, Boo. I think this is a procedural gen mission, but it still ended up with a little bit of a delivery twist. Oh, I'm just looking back at the bubbles and I'm becoming delighted over and over. This game is so cute. I love it so. Okay. I did see one flaw that's actually been there for a very long time that I failed to fix. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. And is there anything else that's labeled 7? Doesn't look like it. Good. So now when I cycle through the possible channels, it goes from first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I'd also like the controls for these to be reversed from what they are right now. Alright, we updated the beeline buggy, so it's time to resave it. Or that's not the right one. Ooh. That one. Cute game for a cute slime. Correct! I am very adorable, very smart, very charming. Also, I'm extremely modest, tough, and super cool. All of that is true. And you see, my friends, that's called self-confidence. I don't think there is a absolute truest version of myself that exists, being a mimic, but Moo the Slime, the self that I present, is for sure one of the truest versions of me. And that's part of why I can feel so self-confident. The trail. So good. Now that's how you make a delivery. Look at that awesome reroute. Oh, if we're going down the speculative robot biology rabbit hole again, then yeah, I am absolutely down for the bubbler being representative of ant-like ant-style scent trails. Man, that thing just rolled all the way off the cliff at some point, huh? I think you reset in order to let go of it cleanly. I am the queen critter, obviously. Like a brain parasite, I control these creatures. And that's just how nature works. Yay! Orb. The orb compels me. Okay, this might be a butterfly situation here. I probably need a butterfly catching style vehicle for this one. "30-kilometer water pipe." And starting with something rough right off the top. Ah. If I remember correctly, we have proven that I am allowed to make intermediary stops for building projects. That's obstructed, huh? There we go. A little bit fiddly looking, but... if it needs to be, this can be a longer-term project as we bring the water pipe to intermediary destinations. Water is the spice of life. That's what you humans say, isn't it? Spice is the water of life? Water is the water of life? Something. Something like that. I don't think I've ever had a particularly spicy drink. That sounds interesting. And kind of confusing, taste-wise. I enjoy spicy stuff, but it has to be a liquid. Like, it has to be a wet spice. If it's like a... like... what do I call it? If it's a dry, like, pretzel mix or something that's spicy, horrible. But if it is, like, a dish that has a spicy sauce of some kind, then that's good. But spiciness on a dry food is just... feels wrong to me. What a beautiful meandering pipeline. Oh, hey, there's the orb. Hello, orb. Look at him just floating ominously. I'm proud of you, orb. This is a great episode for spheres. Does Moo get spicy composition-wise? For that, we would need to go into a further conversation about slime edibility. For that, we would need to go into why would you want to eat a slime? And for that, we would need to go into there are reasons people would want to do that. And for that, we would need to go into how Moo species controls their acidity level. Because if you want to eat slime, then you probably don't want to be face-meltingly acidic. But hey, we got time. Why not? Got all the time in the world playing this game, really. I think that kind of harms the resort look of this place, but, you know, their loss. So let's see, which question first? Why would people want to eat a slime? I don't know, you tell me. It's not particularly nutritious, and it doesn't have any particular flavor. It's just sort of gel. Y'all have invented, gelatin, like, for not pudding, but jellies. Jellifier. And that stuff is quite similar to what it would be like, unflavored. That said, Economics 101 states that if there is a demand for something and a problem to be solved, then then it's possible to market and sell a product that will meet that demand and supply people's need for something. There's enough humans that want to eat slime for whatever reason. And for that, and slimes are flavorless. And so, what would the solution be that you'd come up with if it was just... if you had a culinary item, if you had a food that was flavorless, that you need to give flavor to, and the food itself was a gel? Letting y'all figure that one out. Fruit flavors. You mean like a flavor packet of some kind? Something to turn a neutrally flavored thing into a flavor? Are we recreating Jell-O from first principles? Essentially, yes, that's what I'm asking you to do. Unflavored gelatin needs a flavor. Unflavored slimes, you can put a flavor packet in them. And there are what are kind of like bath bombs designed for slime kind. It's the midpoint between a bath bomb and a like lime flavor packet or something. And then, ah yes, the final point, acidity. My variety of slime is able to control their acidity level. This is done through a catalyst that our bodies perpetually produce. And once a slime has full enough awareness due to the presence of a core, it can realize that, you know, maybe being body-meltingly acidic at all times, it's not great for diplomacy. And so it's a simple matter of preventing the catalyst from being produced by just, you know, seal off that tiny organ that produces the catalyst that acidifies the rest of the slime. This in turn means that slimes, though, can't digest and hold things at the same time. Slime of my type is either completely acidic or completely non-acidic. Ah, but you see, therein lies a new problem. if you have it dissolvable via acidity, then that kind of defeats the entire purpose, doesn't it? Because now the flavor packet is in base-meltingly acidic slime. So it needs to dissolve on its own with water, essentially. So a more bath bomb-like structure is required. Breaking kayfabe just for a second here. Isn't speculative biology fun, everyone? I love speculative biology. Kayfabe returning. I've had lots of time to reflect on myself. Lots of time, lots of research. I still love these beautiful bubbles that we're producing. I came up with a really dumb idea. Pay me bits and I'll set the two bubblers to be whatever colors you pick. That seems kind of, just a tiny bit too... What's the word for that? Not heartless or anything, but like... exploitative? So yeah. If someone has a suggestion on a set of bubble colors they want, then I'll go and change it. Might buy a couple more bubblers, that way we can have multiple colors too. Should be able to mount a little back bumper onto this thing that I can put all the bubblers on. What is that word I'm thinking of? Let's go over here in order to refuel. Scalpy, disrespectful of audience, more. Tip of my tongue. I'll just... Not nihilistic, but in that ballpark. I am going the wrong way. That is too rich of a pocket of mineral for me to ignore. And also... that would... Okay, I have an idea. There. Now we have a nice little bumper that doesn't also ruin the, doesn't ruin the trailer hook. Anyways, what colors? Ace flag. I know the general colors there, but I don't remember what order. Black, gray, white, purple. Yep, that works. It's also just a nice color scheme as it, like, spreads out, you know? Goodness, what a cool item. And because it is bothering me... Let's see, how do I want to do this? Do that. Rescue that. Put it there. Rescue that. Put it there as well. Turn that piece into a hub. Yeah. I had basically forgotten the entire reason I had done that. Was to make room, that way those aren't as separated. But if I do that by... I think we'll just leave it like that and call it good for the moment. There should not be a hook there. And because I am eminently distractible, and back to what we were doing. Here you go. Maybe that worked? Yep, I know what you're talking about. Don't worry. Bucket Lamp made new art. One of the strangest fan arts I've received, but it was of an older design reference from before there was a green inner mouth. And so the inside of the mouth color is wrong. Mining critter for the nests. That's true. Why would you draw that chaos art? Sure. If you're gonna make art that features Moo, I'll call it whatever you want me. All of the ore concentrations around here are really dense. Wonder if I can just, very sneakily just do that. You know what? There's a function on this game that I haven't done yet. I think there's a way to do this. Okay, but if I don't have the sensor selected, then everything else doesn't work. I'll have to look into how to do that. There's absolutely some way to make it so I can activate the drill manually at any point while controlling other stuff. Drill is always ready to be activated mode. This game is fun and cute, and I like it. Oh, so cute, as they say. This game knows exactly what it is. Precisely. That is one of the reasons I love it so. Design-wise, I am a big fan of games with a very confident identity. Games that know exactly what they want to be and are what they want to be without any sort of shame or filtering or compromises, I guess. No concessions. That's a good word for it, yeah. Kind of. Gets the point across. Close enough. Making concessions on your design is one of the core things you need to do for making a game that actually releases. But nonetheless, if you're able to keep a solid identity that can be felt throughout the entire work, then you've got my approval. A game that tries to be perfect will never release. Asterisk. Terms and conditions apply. Tiny outpost over there. Easy to miss. Quick menuing. Bam. Make it turn around and continue on our way. Keeps trying to grab that one. Annoying. Long journey. Oh, we're pretty close at this point. I sure hope I am allowed to do what I think I am for these pipes here. Connecting them between stations like I have been. Should be able to do a nice jump up here and then put a radio tower at the top. Nice. That might be too heavy of a bend for it to ever climb that. Deep sea exploration. That sounds stressful. High pressure. Oh wow, it did work. Okay. I did not think the game would allow me to do that. That sort of slime nonsense. Go back here and that node, then that node, and that one.
See how they shine.
Bucket Lamp just cheered 100 bits.
Hey, Bucket Lamp. I don't know if you were present when I was talking about it, but if you pay me, you get to choose the color of these bubbles.
Bucket Lamp just cheered 100 bits.
Also, guess what I still haven't done? I still haven't adjusted the voice line, so it is... So it's still a singular voice sample out of the 9. I've been busy, okay? Firefox crashed. In any case, though, as always, thank you very much, Bucket Lamp. I do greatly appreciate it. I won't let you let me tag that one. Yeah. Oh, okay, let me repeat the general idea of... Guess what I still haven't done? If you guessed, added 8 added the other 8 line reads for See How They Shine, you would be correct. However, also thank you very much, Bucket Lamp, as always. And also you didn't hear that, I joked about if you pay me, you can choose what color these bubbles are. So, well, go ahead and choose what color the bubbles are. No. If you do that, I am absolutely including that as a notably high cost, free redeem. Channel point redeem. Assuming you're okay with that, obviously. But I would absolutely be down for that idea. Cool. That confirms without a doubt that if you put midpoints between each of your stations, it still counts as a singular line. Look at that pipeline we just built. Bonkers. And now let's take a look at what our reward is. That is a very interesting name for an item. Oh my god, it really is what I thought it is. Okay, this requires additional tests then. Ugh. My core is already spinning at the possibilities here. What this could mean, if this works the ways I think it does. We might have just gotten a very, 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 very useful tool. It's stiff. It doesn't bend weirdly when I do that. Reaches pretty dang far. That might be longer of a extension than even these things do. I think it is. Okay. And the most important test here. One sec. Will this work? Oh my goodness, it does. My friends, I think we have a solution for our mission. That is wild. Absolutely wild they would allow me to have this. That is freaky. Whoa. Awesome. I'll buy a second one. I'm gonna have to ruminate on that piece for a bit, because that I think opens up a lot of different ideas. We don't need to let physics and objects colliding with each other to be a problem anymore. Yeah, bucket lamp. Do you have any preferences on what color you want the bubbler to be? I can repaint those 4 bubblers to produce bubbles of any color. Putting 2 of them in line with each other. Think about what that would do. They already extend a huge distance. So if I do this... Look at how far that telescopes! That is ridiculous. I could absolutely, like, reach over behind something and pull myself by... Bucket. I'm gonna be real. If you were the first person to draw Moo with a impressionistic black stone endoskeleton, I would be hyped as all hell. If you want to know what I mean by Blackstone endoskeleton, look up a video of a game called... Look up a game called... What's that called? Out of This World. Sometimes called Another World. The skeletons that enemies produce after they're shot with a laser gun in that game. Imagine that but made of stone, and that is a stylistic endoskeleton that Moo can wear for formal events. The game with the deadly knee scratchers. Yes, that game. You know how people skeletonize in that game. Moo can wear a skeleton that looks like that. I don't have any art assets that portray Moo with a endoskeleton that looks like that, but oh. You've got me really excited now. Okay. Let's solve this puzzle. This levitating grabbery thing might actually be the absolute perfect tool for this. So let's use it. I'm excitement stuttering. Okay. Anyway, yeah, like... You are not under obligation to create anything for me. Donating to the channel, whether it takes the form of art or compensation or anything like that, is never mandatory, but is always appreciated. Simple as. I think this conceptually could work. Yeah, so we grab it through that kind of means, and then spin. Ooh. Groovin'. Look at us groove. In order to spin this evenly, I would need to have the rotation point be in the center of the pillar. Naturally, that isn't actually possible. So I think the best I can do is hug the pillar as close as I can. Can I just magnet up this? I might be able to. Why has the camera focus changed to that? That's weird. My greatest creation yet. The Wiggler. It dances. Anyway. Not dirt. Alright. We have a flop. Look at how excited the little guy is. Like this little critter, I also wiggle out of excitement. Fun fact. It looks like the camera doing that is an intentional thing. There's probably like an obvious solution to this problem that the game is expecting me to do, and the camera is accommodating for that solution. But let me tell you, I sure don't know it. I just... Okay. Might be... Ugh. Might be onto something. We'll need to get this directly lined up, though. Which may prove harder than you might think. Oh, right, I could just rotate it like that. That also means we want a slower rotator. We might still want both of those, so... Set a slow rotator on top. A slow-tator. Slow rotators, or slow-taters, No! Oh, I thought I was onto something there. Doesn't seem tenable. I'm missing something. What am I missing? The screw itself is grabbable, the bolt is not. This doesn't help as much as you might think, because that's rotating on my axis and not on its. One potential avenue worth investigating. Okay, we're gonna save this thing. Now we're gonna experiment with some new ideas. One there, the other there. And that still lines me up this way. Okay, let's add a new wheel. On something that can actually articulate better. We never saved that modified version of the... That should be fixable. We just need to undo a whole bunch. New slot. Just in case. New slot, new idea, new concepts. Can't even tell which direction that's going. Okay. This is an approach to solution that will absolutely not work. You might be in this one for the long haul, folks. I'm just trying to come up with a single justifiable concept here. And then the only way we can turn now is by orbiting the entire vehicle around this pillar. Which means flying like that and just doing that forever. And as you can see with the grip, that seems less than viable. It is not really a solution I want to have to do. Hello, Stormwing. Meowdy to you too. I'm having some trouble with this one. Install side jets and go wee. That... A tiny vehicle... with rotational side jets. You might be onto something. Anyway, Stormwing, I am trying to solve, this puzzle. My hardest challenge in this game yet. I just got access to these very nifty, spacer objects that can just hover. I figured they might be useful for this particular mission. Two, three, four. Our Mars rover critters have evolved into the fourth dimension is the only conclusion that we can draw here, yeah. Horrifying, but true. don't. We have our solution. Conceptually. This is how we do it. This is going to take a while, admittedly. But... And if this screws up, then yeah, we can solve this problem with jet engines. We're making this happen. So how's chat been today? Want to mess this up just so you can see the jet engines? I haven't finished it yet. If 2 more people agree, then I shall drop the bolt back down and redesign the car to be jet engine enabled. That's 1. That's 2. Alright. Mission completion canceled. Okay, let's see here. First off, that's not necessary anymore. It's too tall. No, that thing was necessary. Oh wow, that actually fits there. Kind of surprised. That lined up. Lined up this way too. Push that forward a little bit, maybe less. Get that fully extended. Rotate over. Whee! Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. Great idea, chat. Mission complete. Is that a net? Paint roller. Save the doohickey. That vehicle is a doohickey if I've ever seen one. Kinda lost the plot on what we're doing here. I mean, I never entirely knew, but I especially don't know now. What are we building? Why would they need a paint roller up there? First things first. Dirt, 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 dirt. Stop it! Stop protein my car! Okay. Do this. This should allow me to get a little hop. Just in case. Now that's just mean. And yes, I did. What of it, my moderator, F. Zoe Blackheart?
We're together.
Riverside Wings just rated with 4 viewers.
Hello! Welcome, welcome. It is cute. I'm very cute. Raiders, we are currently trying to deliver a paint roller to the top of this cage, which is a bit of a problem because if we take the elevator all the way up, we end up inside of the cage. And now we have dropped the paint roller. That is going to be another problem. We've been treating these as creatures with speculative biology, and in a very alarming twist of events, these creatures have learned to travel through the fourth dimension through the use of extenders that don't have physical matter between them. Also makes a cool noise. Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful. There. It's better grip. Okay, so up next is to drive off and grapple. Button pressed. Okay. Believe it or not, this is actually exactly what I intended. For the most part. Get a grab point closer toward the edge. Pull inward and detach the front one, which will make me swing again. Which hopefully means that I will be able to get an angle like that, where I grab the wall. Now we just crawl our way up like this. That was very alarming. I'm glad I did not lose grip of paint roller when I bumped like that. improvise. Oh my god, it's a space elevator. Moon buggy. Is that another little thruster object for us? Oh my god. I think this game might be really cool, y'all. Goodness gracious. That feels like maybe the worst grip I could possibly get. You do better. I wonder if this cooler is properly locked or if it's going to just flop open the moment that I try and do anything whatsoever. It's probably not actually sealed. Here we go. No! My cooler! Grappling hook, good idea. Although grappling hooks can't attach to delivery objects themselves. There. This is so weird that we can do this with our designs now. Up we go. Whoa. No, take a seat. I want to take a good screenshot. Please relax. Oh my god, I need to catch the garbage that's flying past me. This game is absolutely delightful. Fine, I'll put a little more effort into my car design. But only a little. Anchor myself to the moon. Good idea. Let me roll over. Please. I'm giving myself more and more slack, and it's almost enough. Maybe it would work better if I just reset. Brilliant. Okay. Right. New idea. Hmm. Put the catcher on the anti-grav extenders and just push it up there. That's genuinely gonna work. Wild. Thank you. That said, the catcher should probably be a bit bigger. Uh, This is so goofy. Alright, I guess now it's just a matter of getting the angle and positioning right. Patience. Damn, I caught that one directly. Cool. Now that we've knocked them out of the air, we can do a different solution. said, are we delivering these to this microplanet still? We are putting them in a trash can on the microplanet. I love this. This game is so adorable. This game is a delight. An absolute, absolute delight. I didn't dare to dream that there would be microplanets added to the game. Thank you, Outer Sloth, and the Among Us Gave Us Money publishing branch. And thank you, Ian McLarty, for actually programming this, because I can't imagine that this was an easy task to make a microplanet with localized gravity. What a delightful thing this game is. That was a little close. Oh no. It's an emergency. You need a delivery of the flight stabilizer. I wonder if I can just slap those on like that and if it'll be good enough. does seem like my existing onboard stabilizing engines are kind of stepping on the toes of my reaction control thrusters. You'll just have to deal with those making that sound while I drive for the moment. Ready to fly. Bubble's actually proving kind of useful for measuring our movement. Because if you remember, the bubbles don't spit outward. So it's actually telling us what our momentum is. If the bubbles are trailing behind us, that is the direction we are going. Alright, I'm just completely focused. deep focus mode. Got it. This game is so cool. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I can set something to channel all. That's how I'm supposed to do that. Okay. So I can do the drill thing that I was imagining earlier. Let's put on 11. Thank you, my friends. Let's get this delivered, shall we? Games are made by people. They're a very broad definition of people. I'm a slime in the shape of a human. Comes with the territory. I have a broad definition. Place looks familiar. That observatory. Down there is where the mirror for that observatory was stored. Out there you can just barely see the place where we first delivered a watering can. But off to here is where we're headed. Good. The place where everything started. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful adventure, friends. As always, there's an infinite number of side jobs, and there's, honestly, quite a few parts that we haven't discovered. That one appears to be a laser beam of some kind. Oh my goodness, that's the anti-gravity device. That appears to be like a piston, maybe? I think that's a boombox. I remember the boombox being that shape. Cute little antenna. Yeah, there's more parts to discover. Endless amount of deliveries to be made, more infrastructure to create. But for the moment, let's just appreciate the map that we filled out. Also, did you know? The map is infinite. You can explore any direction, and there will be more nodes to find and more space to expand to. So you can build infrastructure and complete randomly generated side contracts to your heart's content. Something I will probably be doing. Curious about something here. I'm gonna do this real quick. Nope. There's a beach ball in there, though. I wonder if I could drop it in the hoop. Anyway. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will probably do one more episode of Mars First Logistics. Because, you know, I'm having a great time and I don't quite want to call it yet. But it looks like it might be time for us to figure out a new Friday game. For those that don't know, Mars First Logistics, back when it was in early access, is one of the first games I ever streamed. And so, to loop back into one of the first games that I debuted with, it's a beautiful bookending. Bookends, you know? No matter the case, though, that's going to do it for today's stream. I love this game. This game is fantastic. It is super cute. And it's a lot of fun. And it's friggin' multiplayer, too. Drop in, drop out. It's gorgeous, and I look forward to poking around at what appears to be actual computer logic, and gates, not gates, sensors, switches, and relays. We could learn how all that stuff works. But here it is, the final form of the Beeline buggy. This thing, amazingly, has its genetics directly coming from the Scout vehicle, right here. This is the baseline version of the vehicle, and through iteration and mutation, it has become this thing. The Beeline buggy. Wonderful stuff. Let's see who we can read to, shall we? People I am following.
To another place.
To another place. Ompuko is up to something. Pre-holiday funny stream under the category Just Chatting. Undoubtedly they are doing something wild. Probably. They might be looking at TikTok AI slop. Whatever. Anyway. Ompuko. They make cool games. I think, yeah, one of which I've highlighted on the stream. And they do very cool visual effects too. Thank you as always, and see you next time to another place.